When I design a one-shot dungeon, I start small on purpose. Not because I don't have ideas, I usually have too many. But the more you add, the harder it is to finish in one session. So today, I'm going to show you how I would build one very simple dungeon and then gradually scale it up. Same tower, same relic, same bandits. We're just changing the depth. For the foundation, the entire premise is this. Bandits stole a sacred relic and are hiding it in a ruined watchtower. That's enough. If I can't explain it faster than that, I probably need to simplify the idea. If I'm running this for new players, I'm not trying to surprise them. I'm trying to help them feel comfortable. At the base of the tower, I'd probably have 3 bandits. For level 1 characters, that's a solid medium fight, enough to feel real, not enough to overwhelm them. Now, could you make it slightly more interesting? Sure. Maybe one of them is standing on a bit of rubble, shooting from above. That introduces elevation without adding danger. But if it's truly their first game, I'd keep it flat, clean, and predictable. Beginner design is readable design. So as they enter the tower, when they head upstairs, the staircase is partially collapsed. And here's where I'd make a choice depending on the table. If they're cautious players, it's just a DC 10 to climb. They figure it out, maybe someone slips for 1d6 damage. If they're chaotic, well, maybe they hear arguing upstairs while they're climbing. Now, every failed check makes noise. Same obstacle, different tone. You're not changing difficulty, you're changing the tension. Halfway up, there's a nervous guard holding the relic. One more bandit, and this is where you can lean into personality. If you want them to explore social play, he's young, he's scared, he doesn't want to be there. They might talk him down. If I want momentum, he panics and runs upstairs yelling. Now the captain prepares. Same stat block, totally different pacing. For the captain, at the top of the stairs, probably use a bandit captain. If they're level 2, run the bandit captain as written. If they're level 1, maybe trim down the HP a little bit, remove the multi-attack. You want this to feel hard but winnable. Beginner dungeons should end in triumph. Now let's elevate a little bit to an intermediate version. Let's add a lair. What if the relic wasn't stolen to sell? What if it's sealing something in? Now, the captain is trying to break it. The goal shifts. Not get the relic, but stop what's happening. Now at the entrance, we're going to upgrade it a little bit. Instead of 3 bandits, I'd probably use 2 thugs and 2 bandits. For level 3, that's leaning in a little hard. For level 4, that's comfortable but real. Now I'd ask myself, are they kicking the door in or are they sneaking up? If they've been cautious so far, maybe the thugs are mid-argument and they don't notice immediately. If they've been loud, the enemies are ready for them. You're rewarding player behavior. Now let's branch the story. At this level, I like adding one meaningful fork. Maybe the main stairs are guarded, but there's an old storage tunnel behind some crates. The tunnel might have a trap. DC 13 to notice, 2d6 damage if triggered. Not deadly, but enough to make them think about it next time. Intermediate dungeons are about teaching consequences without cruelty. So let's add some environmental pressure. As the ritual begins, the tower starts to tremble. Every 3 rounds, a DC 13 dex save, 1d8 from falling damage. And here's where you decide the pacing. If you want urgency, the ritual completes in 5 rounds. If you want escalation, When the captain hits half health, the ritual surges. You're shaping the rhythm. Let's upgrade the captain a little bit. Maybe swap in a veteran. Add 1 relic blast per round, 2d8 force damage. Now the fight isn't just about damage, it's about priority. Do they drop him, or do they try to stop the ritual? That's the Lair. Now let's go up to advanced version for levels 5 and 6. Now let's assume they're not strong enough to stop it in time. The relic cracks. Something answers. The new boss, I'd probably start with a gladiator. Maybe add 20 hit points and arcane lash for 3d8 force damage. Now we're around a CR6, which for 4 level 6 players is kind of hard, but it's fair. But let's throw in some legendary actions. Here's where it becomes advanced. Between player turns, he acts. Maybe the boss moves, maybe he lashes out, maybe he unleashes a pulse that pushes everyone back. Now the fight feels alive. 3 arcane sigils around the room. Each must be stabilized with an action, a DC 14 Arcana check, or let the players be creative. But here's the fork. If you want high tension, every active sigil gives the boss advantage. If you want attrition, maybe every active sigil heals him for 5 hit points per round. Same mechanic, different flavor. Let's throw in some Lair actions. On initiative 20, debris falls, energy surges, a sigil reactivates. The battlefield shifts, and now they're not just fighting the boss, they're fighting the room. Notice how we didn't add 10 more rooms. We added context, we added consequence, we added interaction. For the beginners, it was structured. For an intermediate, we threw in some decisions. For the advanced, we added pressure. If you ever feel stuck scaling a dungeon, don't just make it bigger, make it matter more. And that's usually enough. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and leave me a comment on what do you do to make your best one shot. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep rolling those 20s.